Hello viewers, I am Mithun Samanta, an English teacher. I welcome all of you to my YouTube channel, Unique Guide for English. In today's class, I shall discuss on the third chapter of Standard 9 CBSE English, The Little Girl, from the book Beehive. If this class helps you little bit, you subscribe the channel, share the video among your friends, and don't forget to like the video. Let's start the story, The Little Girl. Kathleen Mansfield Murray was born on 14th October 1888. She died on 9 January 1923. She was a prominent New Zealand modernist short story writer. She was a poet also, who was born and brought up in colonial New Zealand and wrote under the pen name Catherine Mansfield. At the age of 19, she left New Zealand and settled in England, where she became a friend of writers such as D.H. Lawrence and Virginia Woolf. Mansfield was diagnosed with extrapulmonary tuberculosis in 1917. The disease claimed her life at the age of 34. It's the picture of Catherine Mansfield. Now I am going to explain the text line by line. The little girl. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared and avoided. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her casual kiss, to which she responded with "Goodbye, father." And oh, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. I would like to explain the meaning of this paragraph. To the little girl, the father was a fearful one. The figure of his father was a fearful one. Every morning, before going to his office, father used to come to meet Kezia. She bade her father goodbye. When father remained at home, it was a matter of tension to Kezia. But when father went away in the morning to his office, and when the sound of his carriage became fainter and fainter, this little girl Kezia started feeling relief. In the evening when he came back home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. "Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet, mother? Go and see if my paper out there and bring me my slippers." The meaning of the paragraph is that father used to return from his office in the evening. At that moment, Kezia used to stand near the staircase. Staying there, he used to listen the sound of his father's loud voice. Father used to order many things, like bringing tea for him, bringing paper for him. Even father used to order grandmother, Kezia's grandmother, to go and to see if the paper is outside. And also, father used to order to bring his slippers. Kezia, mother, called to her, "If you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boots." Slowly the little girl would slip down the stairs. More slowly still across the hall and push open the drawing room door. The meaning of the paragraph is that Kezia's mother used to call Kezia, means this little girl's name is Kezia. She was called to take off her father's boots. The little girl Kezia slowly used to turn up down the staircase, more slowly still across the hall, and very slowly she used to push open the drawing room door. Actually, slip down means come down quickly and unwillingly. Slip down means come down quickly and come down quietly and unwillingly. Slip down means come down quietly and unwillingly. Next paragraph. By that time he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. Meaning of the paragraph is that this time father used to wear his spectacle. When Kezia would go into the room, father used to look at her over his spectacle. "Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today?" Means father used to encourage Kezia to pull off his boots so that Kezia can prove herself to be a good girl. Means pulling off the boots and taking them outside is one of the mark of a good girl. At that time Kezia used to be very afraid, would become very afraid. She would reply, "I don't know, father." Means she replied negative. She used to reply in negative that she don't know how to pull off the boots and how to take them outside. You don't know? If you stutter like that, mother will take you to the doctor. So father used to threaten Kezia not to stutter, not to be silent, not to stay there silently. Even father used to threaten Kezia that if she wouldn't perform, if she doesn't perform the work of pulling off the boots and to take them outside, grandmother will take her to the doctor. Next paragraph. She never stuttered with other people and quite given it up, but only with father, because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly. So the meaning of this paragraph is that Kezia never used to behave like that with other people. it happened in the case of her father only. Though she used to try very hard to speak something, but hardly she could speak. Actually here, given it up, it means stop doing it. Given it up means stop doing it. Next paragraph. What is the matter? What are you looking so wretched about, mother? I wish you taught this girl not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia, carry my teacups back to the table carefully. So the meaning of the paragraph is that father wanted to know what happened in her, why she was looking so wretched, why she was looking so poor, so miserable. Even father used to say grandmother that by her education, the education what grandmother was giving to her, giving to Kezia, that might lead Kezia to suicide. That's why father used to ask her if the education she was giving was leading Kezia to suicide or not. So he also ordered, here Kezia, carry my teacups back to the table carefully. He used to order Kezia to carry the teacups back to the table. Here one word that is wretched, its meaning is unhappy. On the brink of suicide, this phrase means about to commit suicide. On the brink of suicide means about to commit suicide. Next paragraph. He was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. He was very big. It was the thinking of Kezia, feeling of Kezia, that father's body structure was very big. His hands, his neck, especially his mouth, and especially his mouth seemed to be Kezia very big when father used to yawn. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. Whenever Kezia used to think of her father, the image of a giant used to come in her mind. Next paragraph. On Sunday afternoons, grandfather sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. But the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on one of the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. So, grandmother always wanted Kezia to be very frankly and acquainted with her parents. That's why she used to encourage Kezia to go to the drawing room on Sunday, so that she could talk with parents there very nicely. But going there, Kezia would find mother to be reading and father to be stretched out on the sofa, placing his handkerchief on his face, spreading his handkerchief on the face. And Kezia also used to see that her father's feet was on the cushions and father was sleeping soundly while snoring So here in this picture you can see Kezia has come to see her father and mother, to talk to them. Father is sleeping, spreading handkerchief on his face, and his feet is on the cushion, and mother is reading. This indicates there was a gap between Kezia and her parents. Kezia's relation was very good with her. She sat on a stool, gravely watched him until he woke and stretched and asked the time, then looked at her. Don't stare so. Don't stare so, Kezia. You look like a little brown owl. The meaning of these lines is that Kezia used to go to the drawing room. Going there, on Sundays she used to sit on a stool. She used to look at him, look at her father. But her eyes were very gravely, as there was fear in her of her father. She used to wait until her father used to wake and stretch and asked the time, then looked at her. Means at first father used to ask the time, after that father looked at Kezia. Now father used to rebuke Kezia by saying, don't stare so. Father used to order Kezia not to stare, not to look at him in that manner. You look like a little brown owl. Father used to compare Kezia to a brown owl. One day when she was kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week and suggested she should make him a pin cushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. So the meaning of this paragraph is that grandmother encouraged Kezia to prepare a pin cushion in order to gift father on his birthday, so that a good relation is established between Kezia and her father. Laboriously, with a double cushion, the little girl stitched three sides. But what to fill it with? That was the question. The grandmother was out in the garden. She wandered into grandmother's bedroom to look for scraps on the bed table. She discovered a great many sheets of fine paper, gathered them up and tore them into tiny pieces and stuffed her case, then sewed up the fourth side. The meaning of this paragraph is that Kezia put hard labor in order to prepare the cushion. She used double cotton for this. She stitched three sides at first. Now the problem that appeared before her, how would she fill up the bag of cushion? That was the question. When Kezia was thinking of this at that moment, grandmother went in the garden. She wandered into mother's bedroom. At that moment, Kezia went to mother's bedroom to look for scraps. On the table, she discovered a great many sheets of fine papers, gathered them up. Kezia gathered all the papers. She tore the papers into tiny pieces and stuffed her case, then sewed up the fourth side of the cushion. Kezia was not knowing about the importance of the papers which were on the bed table. As she was little girl, her main aim was to satisfy her father, to please her father, to bring happiness, laughter, smile on her father's face. Here wandered into means went into by chance. Scraps means small pieces of cloth or paper, etc. that are not needed. Hue and cry means angry protest. Next paragraph. That night there was a hue and cry in the house. Father's great speech for the port authority had been lost. Rooms were searched. Servants questioned. Finally, mother came into Kezia's room. The meaning of the paragraph is that father returned home at night. Father started searching the papers which he kept on the bed table. Actually, the papers which father was searching were containing a speech. Father prepared that speech for the port authority. Father searched the room. Even servants' quarters were also searched. Servants were questioned also. At last, mother went into Kezia's room and started asking Kezia, Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some papers on a table in your rooms? Means mother wanted to know from Kezia if she saw paper on table or not. Oh yes, she said. Kezia is a very simple girl, innocent girl. That's why spontaneously she said, oh yes, I tore them up for my surprise. I tore them up for my surprise. So, for my surprise here means unknowingly. I tore them up unknowingly. What screamed mother? Come straight down to the dining room this instant. Mother called Kezia. Just now you come to the dining room. She was dragged down to where father was pacing to and fro, hands behind his back. Father was very angry. Father was doing to and fro means father was going this side and that side of the dining room. His hands were behind his back. Mother took Kezia to father. Father asked at that moment to Kezia, well, he said sharply, well, he said sharply. Mother explained, means mother explained that in order to prepare a cushion which she was preparing in order to give father on his birthday, Kezia tore up the papers in order to fill up the cushion. And tearing up the papers, she filled up the cushion and she stitched the fourth side. After listening that explanation, he stopped and stared at the child. Father stopped and was staring at the child. Did you know that? Did you do that? Means if Kezia had done that or not. No, she whispered. Very slightly in a low tone. Kezia replied, no. Mother up to her room and fetched down the damn thing See that the child put to bed this instant. So mother went into Kejia's room and brought the cushion and see that the child put to bed this instant. So that was put to bed by that child means by Kejia. Here damn thing refers to the cushion. Crying too much to explain, she lay in the shower room watching the evening light to make a sad little pattern on the floor. Then father came the room with a ruler in his hand. So, crying too much to explain. Kejia was crying. She was trying to explain that she tore, though she couldn't explain properly, that means what she was wanting to say, that she tore the papers in order to prepare the cushion for father. She lay in the shadowed room watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. Her attention was diverted little bit. She was watching to the light that fell on the floor, creating pattern. She was watching to the light and standing there. At that moment, father left the room and again father returned. Father came into the room with a ruler in his hands. Father returned with a ruler in his hand. I am going to beat you for this, he said. Father said, you have done this, that's why I am going to beat you. Oh, no, she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. So, hiding under the bedclothes, she was trying to save herself, though she couldn't. She was screaming, hiding under the bedclothes. He pulled them aside. Sit up, he ordered, and hold out your hands. You must be taught once for all not to touch what doesn't belong to you. So father told, sit up. You should get the proper education so that you don't touch next time the thing that doesn't belong to you. But it was for your birthday. Kejia told, I prepared the cushion for your birthday. And in order to fill up the cushion, I tore the paper. But father didn't understand. Down came the ruler on her little pink palms. So father started beating Kejia on the pink palms of Kejia. Hours later, when grandmother had wrapped her in a shawl and rocked her in the rocking chair, the child clung to her soft body. Hours later, after few hours, grandmother took Kejia on her lap and took Kejia to the rocking chair. She wrapped Kejia in her shawl, and the child means Kejia embraced her soft body, embraced grandmother's soft body. What did God make fathers for? Seek soft. So when Kejia got a touch of love from her grandmother, the question came in her why fathers are so hard. That's why KG had said, what did God make fathers for? Means for what purpose God has prepared these fathers? Here's a clean hanky, darling. Blow your nose, go to sleep. Wait, you will forget all about it in the morning. So grandmother told that water is coming out from your nostril. So you take this hanky and clean your nose. I tried to explain to father, but he wasn't too upset to listen tonight. She complained to her grandmother. I tried to explain father, but he was too. So I tried to explain to father, but he was too upset to listen tonight. So grandmother told that she tried to explain to father, but father didn't listen. But the child never forgot. Next time she saw him, she quickly put both hands behind her back, and a red color flew into her cheeks. The child Kezia never forgot that incident. Next time, whenever she used to see her father, terror used to appear in her heart. So that's why she used to keep her hands back, and a red color could be marked on at that time on her cheeks. The McDonald's lived next door. They had 5 children. Looking through a gap in the fence, the little girl saw them playing tag in the evening. The father with the baby, Mao on his shoulders, 2 little girls hanging on to his coat pockets, ran round and round the flower beds, shaking with laughter. Once he saw the boy turn the hose on him, and he tried to catch them laughing all the time. There was a family next to the home of Kezia. This family was the family of MacDonald. There were 5 children in the family. Mr. MacDonald used to play with the children. The father with the baby Mao on his shoulder. Mao, one child, used to cling or hang on his father's shoulder, and the 2 little girls, they used to hang on to his coat pockets, ran round and round the flower beds. They used to laugh. Once he saw the boys turn the hose on him. Once Kezia saw that the boys turned the hose on Mr. MacDonald. He tried to catch them laughing all the time, and Mr. MacDonald was trying to catch them all the time. So whenever Kezia used to saw this family, one question used to come in Kezia's mind, that Mr. MacDonald is also a father. He is totally different from that of his father, that of her father. Then it was, she decided there were different sorts of father. Then Kezia decided that there are different types of fathers. Suddenly one day mother became ill, and she and grandmother went to hospital. One day one incident happened. Kezia's mother became ill. As a result, grandmother went to hospital with Kezia's mother. The little girl was left alone in the house with Alice the cook. That was all right in the daytime. The little girl means Kezia was alone at home. At that night, Kezia was with her father. Anyhow, she fasted the daytime, but at night there was no Alice. Means the cook Alice was not there. Here in this paragraph you see Mr. MacDonald is playing with the 5 children. And here Kezia is watching the 5 children to play with Mr. MacDonald. Let's continue the text again. But while Alice was putting her to bed, she grew suddenly afraid. When the cook Alice was putting Kezia in bed, Kezia was very afraid because previously Kezia didn't have the experience of passing night alone. What will I do if I have a nightmare? She asked. I often have nightmares, then Granny takes me into her bed. I cannot stay in the dark. It all gets whispery. So Kezia told that at night I see bad dreams, and if I see bad dreams, then grandmother take me to her bed, as grandmother is absent today. So what will I do if I see bad dream? You just go to sleep, child, said Alice, pulling off her socks, and don't you scream, wake your poor pa. So the cook Alice advised, you go to sleep, and saying that, Alice pulled off Kezia's socks and also told not to scream, But the same old nightmare came, the butcher with a knife and who came near and nearer, smiling that dreadful smile while she couldn't move, could only stand still, crying out, Grandma, Grandma, she woke, shivering to see father beside her bed, a candle in his hand. So that same bad dream came that night to Kezia. Kezia in her dream saw the butcher appeared with the knife and rope, and she started then making too much sound, calling Grandma, Grandma. So Kezia was calling Grandma. She woke. She was shivering. But she saw at that time that father was beside her bed with a candle in his hand. What's the matter? He said. What's the matter? Why are you crying? Why are you making sound? Father asked Kezia. Oh, a butcher, a knife. I want Granny. He blew out the candle, bent down and caught up the child in his arms, crying her alone. The passage to the big bedroom, a newspaper was on the bed. He put away the paper, then carefully tucked up the child. He lay down beside her, half asleep still, with the butcher's smile all about her in seemed sick, crept closely to him, snuggled her head under his arm, held tightly to his shirt. Kezia started explaining. The paragraph wants to say that Kezia started explaining her father that she saw a dream. In her dream she saw a butcher with a knife. Then father took Kezia in his arm and went to the big bedroom. Newspaper was on the bed. father put away the papers and tucked up the child and took Kezia beside him, and till then in the mind of Kezia the butcher's image was there. Gradually Kezia was going closer to her father and snuggled her head under his arms, under her father's arms. She held tightly father's shirt. Then the dark didn't matter, she lay still. Here, rub your feet against my legs. Get them warm, said father. Then dark was not a factor for Kezia. Father advised Kezia, you rub your feet against my legs, your body will be warmed up. Here, two words are here. Tucked up means covered up nicely in bed. Snuggled means moved in a warm, comfortable position close to another person. Tired out, he slept before the little girl. A funny feeling came over her poor father. A funny feeling came over her. Poor father, not so big after all, with no one to look after him. So one feeling came in Kezia. Previously, she used to think her father to be a giant-like figure. There was too much fear in her heart about father, but that day, she got another image of her father. She saw another image of her father. Her fear went away on that day. She was thinking that father was alone there at home, no one who can look after him. He was harder than grandmother, but it was a nice hardness. She understood that father is no doubt hard, no doubt very angry, very hard, but there was a soft heart also in him. That's why she thought that it was a nice hardness, and every day he had to work and was too tired to be a Mr. McDonald. She thought that as father goes to work every day, so he becomes so much exhausted. He cannot be Mr. McDonald, cannot be like Mr. McDonald. He cannot play with Kezia, cannot give time to Kezia. That Kezia was thinking. She had torn up all his beautiful writing. She started suddenly and sighed. She thought that I did the mistake. I tore up the pages of father, and the writing which was on the papers was very valuable writing. What's the matter? Asked father. Another dream. What's the matter? Asked father. Another dream. So Kezia, while thinking that, started shying. That's why father asked, what's the matter? Have you seen any other dream? Any other dream? Oh, said the little girl, my head's on your heart. I can hear it going. So, the little girl, means Kezia, said, as my head is pressed on your heart, on your body, that's why I can listen your heartbeat. What a big heart you have got, father dear. Father, your heart is really great. So here you see, this great heart indicates the greatness of character. Father's characteristical greatness, broad mind, that has been expressed in this line. So I hope this video has helped you to understand the story, The Little Girl. If it has helped you little bit, don't forget to subscribe the channel, to share the video among your friends, and to press on the like button. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.